Okay, so I am done well, I guess first of all, welcome to another Aaron's Book Club. I know this is a little bit different than normal, but I am done a book and my camera that I was going to use has decided to run out of battery juice. So I'm desperate to tell you about this book because it's so good that I don't want to wait. So I'm going to do a little quick book review, and then I've got another book video I'm going to do on my next to be read. So we're going with my laptop here, so bear with me because the laptop is older than sin, so I don't know how this technology is going to work, and I've never used it before. So we'll see. But the book that I wanted to bring up that I read is Shrouds of Silver by Carissa Broadbent. It was a Goodreads win. Beautiful title, or beautiful cover. I don't know if you guys can see it. Lovely cover. Um, the back of it really intrigued me, and that's why I picked the back up or the book to read. Let me read the back of it for you. It says here, Sisson has blood on her hands. In an unprecedented ritual sacrifice, she has slit the throats of 3 of her fellow Velten, some of the only family she has ever known. Born with pale eyes, silver hair, and short, sickly lifespans, the Velten are considered to be just a step below the gods. For hundreds of years, the isolated country of Ara has worshipped them. But in the wake of the sacrifice, the 4 remaining Volterans spiral into grief and doubt. Sisson throws herself into leadership despite her growing uncertainty. Elise embraces her fervent faith, and Terran attempts to keep the peace. Dal is consumed by anger. When Dal decides to marry a prostitute in a fit of rebellious furor, don't even know how to say that, he shocks Ara and shakes the core of the church. 4 Voltaren are on the verge of being torn apart even as they become more and more ensnarled in a tangled web of betrayal, political intrigue, and ancient secrets. By the end of it all, they could discover the power within themselves that they never imagined, or face destruction as their country and Voltaren church crumble to ashes around them. At first, I was kind of intrigued, but I didn't think it would be a big deal because it's more of a political thing. But and then when I first started reading it, I thought, yeah, it's nice, but I couldn't invest in the grief that the character was already being thrown at you, because you come at the story after the sacrifice has taken place, and the main character that did the sacrificing is going through the grief of the sacrifice, but because you never really got to know the main character very much, you can't empathize with her, and it's kind of a cold grief for you, um, which maybe was better because in the end, when you found out what really happened, if you knew that from the beginning, it would be an awful, horrible book, and I don't think I could finish it. Um, you learn what the story is through flashbacks, and the flashbacks are horrid, and I'm so glad that they're just little flashbacks. The character development for all 4 of these characters are amazing, and there wasn't a main character. The focus switched from character to character to character. You went through chapter by chapter, and each of the 4 characters shared being on the limelight. Um, the one character that I absolutely couldn't stand for most of the story because he was just this ever so selfish guy who knew what he was doing and didn't care. In the end, I think might have learned something, but I don't know for sure, so it's hard to tell. Um, the book, I think I'm going to have to read it 3 or 4 more times because there was little nuances that I missed. But what really got to me with this book is the way that the author had these people interact was very plausible, even with what we're dealing with in today's society. It's it's such a good book, and I don't want to say anything more without giving it away. But you guys really have to read this book. And this author finishes the book, and you get this like, oh my god, wow moment, and you don't want it to be over, and it is over, and then it says it's the end of book 1, so this is a series, so now I got to figure out how to get the second of the book. Maybe you guys can help me with that. How do I get the next book? Do I talk to the author? um, will they have a website that will tell me when it comes out? I don't know, but I need the next book of this because it tied up some ends, but not enough. Just a really, really good book. Like, I flew through this book. It was over I don't know, 300, 400 pages, about 400, 300 pages, 359 pages, around there. And I flew through this book. So you guys, you need to read it. It's such a good book. And just a little aside, I love it when the authors do this. I got a little note, you guys can see it, thanking me for winning, or congratulating me for winning, and just a little personal note from the author that I'm going to treasure forever, and I'm actually going to keep it in the book. And I think the book is more special that way. But I am going to close this for now and try to figure out how to post this on Goodreads. And then I've got another to be read already picked out and ready to go. Thanks so much, guys. Sorry again for this font or format, but I couldn't wait for my camera to charge. Take care, everybody.